Hello everyone. So today we're going to speak about a subject that it's interesting not only because of today's date, which is the winter solstice. And today is a date where the energy of the planet allows us to go deep within and work in our shadows. And working in your shadows is not uh, a way of feeling bad about you being or having difficulties in life, but rather that it's a moment to recognize that we are both darkness and light. And when we become aware that darkness, it's simply a state of being, it's a part of the universe, and it's as divine as the light. And at that moment, when we recognize the darkness, our shadows, as divine, there is a shift, and that shift creates freedom, pure freedom.
Today is a cosmic event, a planetary event, but even though collectively it's an invitation in general, there is also a uniqueness to your soul's purpose. And as individuals, we must ask ourselves with honesty, because today is about honesty. Every day is about honesty. But today, like my brother is saying, to address our darkness from that place of purity and truth, where we can actually finally recognize where we are from the most honest place in our hearts. And most importantly, by recognizing where we are, we can determine where we want to be. That's why the importance of today in this portal, individually, we are invited to go within. That's why it is the longest day of the year, so we can just close our eyes and learn to listen to that higher guidance that is always with us and is always inviting us to simply be honest, because rather than making it a meditation, it's just a practice of self-love where we can finally recognize the place that uh, makes us feel uncomfortable, which sometimes is in darkness and silence, and really shine through that darkness and that silence.
And you might not be seeing this video during this portal, during this winter solstice. So no matter when you see this video, you can actually make this work, do this work. And we're gonna share with you how we have worked through our darkness. And again, this is what has worked for us, and we're only sharing our own perspective. So the way we manage our darkness, because when we go in meditation, we always want to feel good, right? So when we work on our darkness, there is no difference. We always have to feel good first, because you don't want to work on your darkness, like I said before, feeling depressed or sad or
Or
angry.
scared.
Yeah, because working on your darkness means to first embrace uh, feeling good, feeling amazing. And from that place, from that loving space, then you invite that feeling or that emotion that is bothering you, that is chasing you, and that is not letting you advance to your next level of evolution. So how we do it is we simply go into meditation, and for the first 5 minutes we do nothing but feed our good emotions, feeling good about my day, feeling good about this year, feeling good about our life period, for all the moments, all the times that we have had those amazing feelings. So we start rising our frequency, and once you feel good about this moment, about the moment when you're doing this exercise, then you can at that moment invite this these lower emotions. Let's say you invite guilt. Guilt is one of the most common emotions, or anger, that we found in all our sessions that people struggle with the most. So let's say you invite anger, and at that moment that you're feeling good, you verbally, if you can do it actually out loud, and you can say, at this moment I invite this teacher, anger, the teacher of anger, to become present in me, and see this teacher coming out of you, because anger doesn't exist out there. Anger exists within you, and that's why you are uh, working or trying to make peace with this emotion.
It's a part of yourself, of course. It's a part of yourself that you don't want to negate, because when you negate a part of you, which is 50%, because remember, we are 50% darkness and 50% light. So when you invite this teacher, like my brother says, it is important to change the perception of what darkness actually is. And like he says, it's a teacher and nothing to be afraid of. So that's why a good practice, like he says in the beginning, is to feel good. And a good way to feel good is to start making a list in your head, with your eyes closed, of all the things you are grateful for. It's very important to connect to gratitude, because it immediately connects you to that feeling good emotion that you're looking for. And that list that you can go in your head, grateful for, who you are, what you have, for your food, for your car, for the money that you have in the bank, for the most mundane things if you want. But those are things to be grateful for. And until the end, to feel good about yourself, to be grateful for what you have done, because a lot of people are grateful for, for the universe, for life, for God, for their family, and we leave little time to be grateful for us. So that's the beginning of how we start this process of dealing with our darkness, and also changing again the perception of what darkness is. It's nothing but a teacher. And right after we have invited this teacher into our field of awareness, then you can start just feeling what it feels to have this connection with that part of you that is as divine as your light. Again, there's nothing to be afraid of darkness. Darkness is an angel. It's actually a loving angel that sometimes teaches us with, hard lessons and challenges in life, because
we're not willing to learn sometimes
the easy way.
from the other teachers.
Yeah.
So there's a moment that your soul says, okay, well, you haven't learned this way, so now we're gonna make it different. Maybe you learn by burying yourself into this darkness, and once you do, then you're able to flourish. So
And there's a way that darkness manifests in your life in many ways, with accidents, with sickness, with abuse, with all these things. And believe it or not, darkness and light work together. So imagine that they are angels. So there is the angel of light and the angel of darkness. And the angel of light literally comes to the angel of darkness and says, "Look, I've tried, I've done my best with these guys, and they don't get it like this. So why don't you teach them now from a different perspective, from
Which
the
is also
opposite,
love.
which is also love, a degree of love, um, because they don't seem to get it like this. So maybe if you literally trip them in their process, they'll wake up to a higher calling. And sometimes, yes, when we are buried and we can no longer go any lower, then is when we actually receive this wake up call, and we are guided and invited to get up, and take that first step again.
So you invited your this teacher, and at that moment you visualize. You're gonna use all your senses. Uh, at this moment, you use your vision to to see this teacher, this master, in a very loving way. Not like a monster, not like something bad, but rather as a beautiful teacher, as a beautiful being, and you just embrace it. You embrace this teacher and say thank you. Thank you the same way you say thank you for all your blessings. You say thank you for this other blessing in disguise, and you just feel the connection with this teacher and say, well, thank you so much for your teachings. Thank you so much for all the hardships that you put me through, or that I put myself through, and you were supporting those choices that I made. Because see, darkness or anger or any of these teachers, they're not out there to get you. It's you that's doing this. They are just part of you, enhanced. It's an enhanced part of you that at that moment your focus is so uh, laser focus on these energies that they just manifest, and they simply seem to be ruling your life, but they really can't really rule your life. It's you that allows these teachers to have some sort of control. So you invite it, you embrace it, you're grateful, you tell this teacher how much you love uh, his her teachings, and you just make peace. You just make peace. Treat this teacher as a friend, as someone that's actually giving you the opportunity to rise above yourself.
And remember, I mean, he did mention the magic word, uh, which is to recognize these teachers as something loving in your life, something loving that exists within you, and really change the perception, because the word focus is very important, because it's where your focus is where energy goes. And if your focus is in always in lower emotions and feeling victim, then it's going to be really hard to embrace this darkness and make it your friend. And you know, have you we all have heard actually that someone probably came up with it that says ego is not your amigo, and ego is your amigo. It really is. Everything is working for us, not against us. So we must change the perception of what's going on. And it's a beautiful thing to also take responsibility and say, okay, well, uh, up until today, from the moment I was born until today, what has happened to me first, somehow I caused it by frequency, even if you're a kid, believe it or not. Um, and second of all, I take full responsibility of everything that has happened and stop seeing that as a misfortune or an abuse or an abandonment from God, because it doesn't work like that. God, this beautiful creator, loves us equally. There's no preference. And as a father, I can tell you that. So it's about perception. It's changing the perception of what has happened until today and recognize that we are the co-creators of our reality, because everything has been created for us. Absolutely everything. It's about frequency and how we align to those frequencies, whether the high frequencies or the low frequencies, where we exist. So if our focus is in the lower frequencies, then we shall meet people and situations of the same frequency that will support our existence, our experience in life. So that's why perception is everything. We must change our perception of what darkness is, so we can get out of it, and not just get out of it, because it will always exist within you. But you start focusing now on your light. If you want to experience a less dense experience in life, a more loving, a more compassionate experience in life, we must change our perception, our focus. And if we're here focus on our darkness, we can always change our shift and focus now on our light and enjoy an experience in the higher frequencies, that you will meet also people and situations that exist in that realm of higher frequencies.
But now, how do you shift from uh, receiving the teachings from uh, a dark teacher to a teacher of light, once you have made peace with them first? Because at that moment that you feel so comfortable with these emotions, you become aware that they are serving you, that they were only serving you, and you're making peace. You start seeing this teacher surrounded by a violet flame. That's how I do it. That's how we do it. And you surround this teacher with this violet flame, and you see him. Let's say you have the image of an old man. You see him being consumed by this flame, being transmuted by this violet flame, and being elevated to heaven, to the fifth dimension, to whatever you believe on. Just see this master ascending to whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever beliefs you have.
And now it sounds easy, and I know it has to do with visualization, like he says, but there is no unique way to
That's
visualize
just how
and
we
to
do it.
perceive your darkness. In whatever way that works for you, we're only sharing our own experience and what has worked for us, and it's unique to us. And you can try to visualize these teachers as a beautiful old man, a beautiful old woman, as a kid, even as a monster. If you want to visualize him as a cute monster, you can actually do that. Make it very unique to your own understanding, level of consciousness, uh, to your own experience. Again, we're only sharing what works for us, but the most important thing about this practice is not to judge the outcome of the experience. And if you feel that nothing has worked after this meditation or your own meditation, just rest assured that the intention alone to work on your darkness already puts you in the higher frequencies, because it's all about intention. And this practice, it's the same. Only having the intention to do this practice alone will make you a better version of yourself.
Right. So once this master has ascended, now you need to replace these teachings, this energy, this focus with a new teacher. At that moment, you invite the teacher, the emotion that you want to replace these teachings with. So if you were working with anger, then you invite happiness or you invite joy. Whatever teacher you feel that you need in your life the most to replace the teachings of the old teachings. And that's when you can visualize a new teacher. And this teacher can be a beautiful angel, if you like, whatever serves you. And at that moment, you connect at a heart level, at an energy level with this new teacher, and also embrace this presence and say thank you for accepting my invitation. Thank you for being here today. And at this moment, I accept your teachings. But how do you accept the teachings of a new teacher? Well, by becoming that you're wishing for.
And also, this practice is about new agreements, a new agreement with yourself. So you can also visualize a contract being tear apart, and
With the old teacher.
a new contract being signed and dated by you, and say, today on December 12th, 2021, or whatever date you're watching this, is the same. I make this new agreement with myself, and I choose this new teacher into my life of joy, of happiness, of love, and compassion to accompany me during my process moving forward.
Right. And at that moment, you see this teacher getting into your heart and sealing that contract, that teacher, in your heart center. And you can visualize it in any way you want. Again, it's up to you, but just have that intention to make peace with the old teacher, to embrace the old teacher, to see it ascended, to invite the new teacher, to embrace the new teacher, make new contracts, and to seal it in your heart. And it's, although it might seem like a simple practice, because it is, the results are magical. They really are. And it's a choice you can make at any time, any day. You don't have to wait for a solstice or an equinox or any of the portals throughout the year. Any day, every day, you can do this. Of course, during portals, the energy really supports that, but it doesn't matter. Any time that you want to do it, you will be supported by your guides, by the energy, by especially by yourself, because you're doing this yourself, and you're your biggest support.
And remember, at some point, whether it's today or in 10 years, it makes no difference. The invitation is open, and the invitation is for everybody, especially for those who accept it. Because in every process, and we, by the way, we are that process, and every time you listen, whether it's your guide or your higher self or someone to trust the process, they're simply asking you to trust yourself. And in that process, we all have that calling one day to really go within and accept the invitation to make that change, to make that shift into accepting 100% of who we are, which is half light and half darkness. And like I mentioned
it's all
before,
love.
But it's all love. And like I mentioned before, you don't see the yin yang and judge the black part of it. You just see it as a beautiful symbol of balance, of eternal harmony. And that's really what it is. In this darkness and light together, we really become whole, we really become one. And you no longer experience that sense of solitude and that sense of not being whole. It's up until today that a lot of people, we have all felt like half of us. Why? Because we keep denying our darkness. So this invitation is today, tomorrow, and for eternity, open to those who accept the invitation.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. I hope this video serves you in any way. We would like to hear your comments. If you have anything else to add, please make a comment and share this video and subscribe to our channel. We only share our experience just because we feel that by frequency it will align to someone that's looking for it. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Feel free to write us to starseedtwins@gmail.com. The information is going to be below. And yeah, reach out if you have any questions by email, and we'll be happy to connect.
Namaste.
Namaste.